job?
He sleeps in those clothes.
He must. He cares about his job, he cares about his employees. And I'm supporting the raise for Mr. Molinaro.
There's no more discussion on the board. I'd like to adjourn the public hearing for the budget for the town of Shandaken for 2013. Do I have a
So moved.
motion? Second?
Second.
Motion adjourned. We'll take 5 minutes and then we'll come back. No more, unless you guys want to roll right into the board meeting.
There's no reason.
All right, we're going to roll right in, folks. We don't have to.
We got a turkey.
I'd like to call to order the Town of Shandaken Town Board meeting for November 2013. Take a turkey.
The children
It
want.
reminded me of a story from Jula Market coming in the Indian outfit. Can we have a roll call, please,
Board
Joyce?
Member Bartlett. Here. Board Member Bernstein.
Here.
Board Member Higley.
Here.
Board Member Jordan.
Here.
Supervisor Stan.
Here. I'd request an approval for the previous board minutes.
Make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Approved. Financial report. FEMA Supervisor's Report, October 2013. FEMA reimbursement, $26,069.61. Phoenicia Water District interest, $6.20. Ambulance fees, $3,571.87. Ambulance donations, $409. Phoenicia Library rent, $300. Phoenicia Library electric reimbursement, $74.50. Justice fees, $10,291. Town clerk fees, $118.45. Police fees, $30. Building permit fees, $790. Dog licenses, $104. Mariner Towers, $762.20. Highway interest, $145.39. Fuel reimbursement, $23,394.03. Refund for the ambulance P.O. box, $16. And highway health reimbursement of $179.87, for a total of $66,262.12. Regular meeting, elections. I'd like to congratulate Tim Malloy, Faye Storms, and Pete Demotic on their election wins last night. We look forward to working with them over the coming years, be it on the town board or in the assessor's office. And although we still have 2 months remaining, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank both Doris Bartlett and Jack Jordan for their years serving this community. On a personal note, I'd like to point out that although I'm sure to see them over the coming years as we will remain friends, it's always disheartening to see people who I think have respected their constituents well and performed their duties without hesitation leaving office. I'll miss you both. I wish you both the best in future endeavors. Thank you. I'm going to revisit that.
I'm going to miss Rick the most.
We're going to set him up with his own comedy special.
Oh, and Patty.
Budget have just completed the public hearing on the budget. We will vote to approve, we will be voting to approve the final budget for 2014, including any adjustments made following the comments received. New York State Comptroller. The final action we need to perform following a report of examination conducted by the Comptroller's Office is a letter responding to each of the recommendations made to the town. This letter, referred to as the Corrective Action Plan, CAP, illustrates actions taken within the offices to correct inadequacies in internal paperwork and procedures. We will read the letter into the record prior to town board approval. Planning Board. We have a resolution to reappoint our members to the Ulster County Planning Board. Keith Holmquist is the regular member and Bob Kalb is the alternate member. Also, due to Ms. Storm's election win, we will be advertising for the opening that will be created as she has to vacate the seat before taking office on the town board. The replacement will be appointed for the remainder of the unexpired term. Recycling. Our e-waste recycler informed us earlier this month that they are no longer taking cathode tube TVs free of charge. So we have been released. I know you're heartbroken, Rick, I heard that. We've been released from the contract with them and secured e-waste recycling from a new firm, Maven Technologies LLC. This change will not disrupt the availability of the service to the town's residents. And lastly, we have other resolutions concerning renewal of our contract, our annual contract with the Ulster County Sheriff's Urgent Task Force, and we are advertising for bids for a new roller for the Highway Department. You all should have received a mailer concerning the New York Rising Communities funding being offered to the towns of Shandaken and Hardenburg to assist us in flood mitigation and economic development strategies, which will lead to shovel-ready projects within our community. I cannot stress enough the importance of your participation in these activities, as it may affect you and your home directly. Please join us all at the Upper Overlook Lodge at Bel Air Mountain this Saturday, November 9th at 1 p.m. Cannot stress enough, the more public participation, the better. So we'd appreciate having everyone there. Lastly, here we come, Turkey. Heather Roberts is here to talk about the highlight of Thanksgiving week in Shandaken, this year's Turkey Trot event. Heather Roberts, please.
Put on my hat, but it's really hot, so my Tom is
Can
going
we
to be...
just see it on you once?
You want to just see it?
Yes, just once.
I can't see with it?
There you go, for our audience. There you go.
So, in case you haven't heard, the third annual Phoenix Turkey Trot is going to be happening Saturday, November 30th, Saturday after Thanksgiving. Last year we had over 400 participants in this great community event, so if you missed it last year, you must have been visiting relatives in China or sitting in a cave by yourself somewhere, because all your friends and neighbors were out for the Turkey Trot last year. The Turkey Trot is a 2.4-mile fun run, walk, wobble, or gobble, whatever you want to make it. We have birds of all feathers running together in the Turkey Trot. We have high school track stars doing it in about, 4 minutes. And we have grandparents with their grandchildren coming in at about 45, 50 minutes. So don't feel like it's too much or too little for you. We have all kinds of runners. New for this year, the Turkey Trot, we have an hour later start date, so we're starting at 10 instead of 9, so you get to sleep in a little bit later. Rob will be there emceeing as always. We will have some great prizes for the fastest female, fastest male. We have fastest female will get a spa gift certificate for the Emerson, and don't try to dress up as someone else or something. The fastest male will get a gift certificate to the Emerson, and we also, I think we may have some lift tickets to Bel Air as door prize. What else can I tell you? Registration for the Turkey Trot is many ways. I have some registration forms here. There's some forms in town at the library, the bank. I left some at Town Hall. And I think there was one. Oh, the Phoenicia Supermarket has some as well. You can also go to our website, www.phoeniciaturkeytrot.com, and download our registration forms. You can also go to runreg.com. You can get to RunReg through our site as well, and RunReg is an online registration form. So you are also able to register the day of the race, although I recommend pre-registering. With 400 people coming in and out, it's a lot easier if you pre-register. The day of the race, we will close registration at about 9:45. So the race will start at 10. We have the American Legion doing their thing, and Sue Bernstein is going to sing the anthem for us, which is really nice this year. We will have a tot trot at 9:45, so kids 5 and under can do that. And I believe they'll be able to chase Bill Rudge around in this very suit. The Zumba ladies will help do a warm-up, and we are also going to have, I think Pat Burkhart will be there to do a kids warm-up. So there's so much going on. I encourage you to come down early. We'll have a lot going on before the race. As I mentioned, all the proceeds for this will go to the Pine Hill Community Center, which desperately needs a new roof. So we're considering it a raise the roof type of fundraiser. So, and my children were very embarrassed to know that I was going to be on TV in this outfit, so I'm going to... any questions?
It's rain or shine, right?
It's rain or shine, yeah, and, or snow. It's November 30th, which is a little bit later this year.
If somebody wanted to volunteer.
They can email me. My email is on the website. Joyce also has my emails, or they can call me. I'm in the book, and I've had a couple phone calls already. So if someone wants to volunteer, that would be amazing. If you don't want to volunteer and you don't want to come run, grab a chair or go to Rita's for breakfast and sit out on Main Street and cheer on all of our runners. Are going to come down Main Street at a little after 10.
Can they still make donations?
They can still make donations. Always, you can still make donations. They go to any donations go to Pine Hill Community Center, and we have a ton of generous sponsors this year. Our sponsors are listed on our website. We'll have fantastic t-shirts designed by Kurt Boyer, which are similar to the poster that I have here. And we have sponsors from Boyceville all the way past Margaretville. We have some amazing sponsors this year. So.
Heather, I just want to congratulate you, Patty, because I remember when we were just discussing this back before we even had an official Parks and Rec board, when it was still a rec committee,
Yeah.
and saying, this Turkeytron idea thing, and I think it's been a successful event. It really was, it's fun, it's really just a fun day, people running around. Again, like Heather suggested, it'd be nice if people could just even set out on the chairs on the street and root on the runners.
Yeah.
It really is starting to grow, and it's becoming a bigger thing every year.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
we had 300 people the first year, 400 last year. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you guys need registration forms?
Rich does.
Oh, and that reminds me, there was a dispute between Rob and Rich last year.
No, there's no dispute.
And I was looking at the results. I happened to be looking through the results this year from last year. Somehow Rob Stanley was 9th, I believe.
Ooh, his doors.
Wow. And I didn't even notice him leaving the MC booth, so that was just amazing. He was so
Lightning.
Start training.
Like lightning. Anybody else have any announcements?
I just have a couple of quick things. I'd like to congratulate the people that were elected. I'd like to congratulate the people that were elected. I'd also like to thank the people that voted for me. I wish a few more had, actually many more had, but I've enjoyed my time here, and good luck to those people that were recently elected.
We'll miss you, Jack.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
Okay, we were hoping to get a vampire here tonight, but you can't count on them. The Dracula, in case you don't know, is playing at the Shandaken Theatrical Society Theater until November 17th. Call 688-2279 for reservations. Sewing for Teens is at the Morton Memorial Library up in Pine Hill on November 15th and November 22nd, ages 10 to 16. Call 254-4222, and that's going to be both of those Friday nights from 5 to 7 p.m. There's going to be a concert at the Empire Railway Museum with the band called Gathering Time, and they're going to be performing on Sunday, November 17th. Call 688-9453. There's going to be a free workshop at the Phoenicia Library on the Affordable Health Care Act on Saturday, November 23rd, 11 to 1. Call 688-7811. And the annual Community Thanksgiving Dinner is going to be Saturday, November 23rd, 2 p.m. at Parish Hall, Phoenicia. All welcome, no charge, but dessert to share is appreciated. This is sponsored by the St. Francis de Sales Parish and the Phoenicia Rotary. And lastly, Toy for the Children Drive at by the Catskill Mountain Classic Car Club is Sunday, November 10th, noon to 3 in the Great Room at the Emerson, down in Mount Tremper. Bring a new unwrapped toy and call 254-4238 for information. And again, all this is on our website as well as our Facebook page. And lastly, 2 announcements. Congratulations to the parents of Audrey May, who was born on October 11th, 8 pounds, 8 ounces, number 2 home birth in Shandaken. And the parents of Vera Fairlight, 8 pounds, 20 ounces, 2 ounces, I'm sorry, September 18th, home birth number 3 of Shandaken. So we're seeing a real trend here. For a 3rd home birth. That's it.
One thing also, Rob, Veterans Day ceremony is going to be held at the American Legion on Monday, November 11th at 11 a.m. 11.
Thank you. Ambulance. Slow poke.
What was that?
Humble. Speak. Yes. Mumble.
Enough for the game out there. I get enough certainly.
You love us.
I did. The October report for the town of Shandaken ambulance, total calls received was 29, mutual aid given is actually 2, one to the town of Olive, one to the town of Woodstock. It was an error on my part. Mutual aid received is 1 due to a multiple patient motor vehicle accident. Flu results in 23,600 deaths and 226,000 hospitalizations each year. It's easily spread, results in severe respiratory illness that can particularly affect at-risk populations such as the young, elderly, pregnant women, and those with chronic medical conditions. The best way to protect yourself is to get a vaccine now if you haven't gotten one. Flu season generally peaks mid-February, continues through May, but the earlier you protect yourself, the better. There's many ways to protect yourself and your loved ones. On the report, I listed a whole bunch of ways that you can protect yourself. Best way is to get the flu vaccine, and if you think you've been exposed to someone with the flu, starting to have flu-like symptoms, call your healthcare provider, get checked out. And then the usual things that you do to reduce the spread of germs, hand washing, and so on and so forth. Ulster County Health Department has a flu hotline. That number is 845-340-3093 to answer any questions and provide any information on flu clinics countywide. And we'll be offering a flu clinic here at the Shandaken Town Hall Monday, December 2nd from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's really not something to mess around with. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's on.
Shandaken Police, I know Mr. Graff is in the file right now. Holy shit, a big deal. Vinny, would you care to read this? You want me to read it? Police report, Shandaken Police Department report for October 2013. 8 animal complaints, 1 age. Excuse me? Yeah, I did. I started with the 8 animal complaints. Thank you, Mr. Ricky. 8 unfounded.
Jump to the bottom for the abbreviated report.
Do the abbreviated?
Yeah.
Right here. Okay, so 7 violations, 3 misdemeanors, 1 felony, 10 total arrests, 11 total charges, 57 uniform traffic tickets, no parking tickets, 47 cleared at court with $2,740 in total monies collected from the fines. We had 7,689 miles patrolled, 18 new investigations, 3 closed investigations, 4 open investigations, and 10 investigations with arrests. Schwartz. Care if I take it? Okay. Yeah, so as Rick pointed out, we did receive approval from NYSEG. I met with the gentleman last week, and he came down and took photos of the serial numbers on the pumps to ensure that we actually did change the pumps, which we did. And of that, the total cost of the job was about $18,000 or $17,000, and we received $12,000 in change in reimbursement from NYSEG. We're still waiting on the check, but it should be any day. We also, again, as I said, Eric and I sat putting in the application, which is pretty extensive, the amount of information they request for the Phoenician Loop and the pump station for High Street. What came up curious was that when you submit the FEMA paperwork, you need to come up with 2 alternatives or no alternative. Well, no alternative is no good because the pump house is no good. You can't use it without filtration. We're not going to put filtration in that pump house. We looked at relocating. Oddly enough, and the more I look at it, one of the alternatives we proposed is when we were looking at the map of the water district, there was a small spur line that runs at the end of Station Road, almost directly across from the water station.
Right,
And
that's one
so we proposed, yeah, I got you. We proposed as an alternative about tunneling under the Esopus and connecting it directly with the main filtration plant. That would have helped us avoid having the bridge crossing. Although the bridge crossings help us if we need to coordinate, shut off a section or here and there, we can still backfeed from another area. But in case of an emergency like Irene, if that bridge gets knocked down on Bridge Street, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen, but if we continue this loop and the Woodland Valley Bridge and the Bridge Street Bridge go down, taking their mains with them, if you have a main directly connected to the plant with a generator, we should be in good shape. We should be able to supply water to those residents up on High Street. So that might actually be a viable alternative that FEMA wants us to investigate. So we're gonna have to look into, you know anything about tunneling? Looking at her. So anyway, that may be an alternative there. We also did I put in an application for the building department to upgrade it to try to get them more technology and equipment so that they can better do their jobs. It's a $30,000 application through FEMA, but because it doesn't have to do directly with the structure, it's very hard to argue to FEMA without it saying you're protecting structures where you're arguing that it helps in efficiency post-disaster. So we'll see where those applications go. Pine Hill Water. Clark, thank you.
To get you up to speed with some of the current project that I'm working on. We still have a balance with the EFC of funds that we have available, and I really wanted to replace the plastic line that we have down below the village, what I call the Sharp Building, down to the old corporation line. And there's approximately 600 feet of plastic pipe that's in there. However, the funds that we have available, it appears it's not going to be enough to do that project. So taking that into consideration, I now would like to take the money that we have and see what we can do to work on our source water and around the spring boxes. We have a transmission line that goes from our springs down to the reservoir that is on top of the surface. I'd like to get that underneath the surface to protect it and do some work on our actual spring boxes, our catch basins. And we're looking at the costs of that to see if we can use the funds from the EFC to do that. At the present time, the Pine Hill Water District is doing fine financially. We're making our bills. It looks like we're going to be fine for the next couple of years. However, something that's come to concern is that we have not much of a fund balance for the liabilities that we do have. And I'm looking into possibly doing a rate increase, recommending a rate increase for next year. How much, I don't know. We need to do a lot more exploring and find out how much we can get for a fund balance, because we have a lot of liability. It's a small town, but we have a big water main system, and if we have to have emergency repairs, they're going to be expensive. And at that point, we don't have the money for emergency repairs. So I'd like to see if we can start building up some sort of a fund balance to tap into for an emergency. So we're now to start addressing that early next year. So.
Yeah, the irony there being that I know you've had less usage.
Yes.
So that it's the dichotomy of less usage means less income, so you got to raise the rate, which probably will transfer to less usage even more because people are concerned about
You
paying.
know, we're being very more conservative, which is what they're supposed to do. And along with that, with less people in town, our revenue has dropped. So, but like I said, right now we're fine financially, we're getting our bills paid, we're good. But looking into the future, the next water super that comes in, there's gonna be, we got to have some money for them. So I'd like to start building up some sort of fund balance.
Museum? Not open report. Recreation, Marty?
We have our next regular meeting next Monday, even though it's November 11th, the holiday, we decided to go ahead with that date. It's 6:30 here at Town Hall, and everybody's welcome. I just wanted to raise a question that I hope maybe we could try to negotiate again with ORDA regarding special ski for the townsfolk, because last year I know you tried very hard and went through extensive talks and got nowhere. But it's a real loss to the community that we don't have some kind of program where the folks who live here in this town get to access the mountain with a bit of a discount.
Again, they haven't changed their stance with their position. It's a children's program that they have, and they'd rather work for the school district than the town.
It's too bad, because it really was a very successful program, and there's sort of inability to translate to us.
And working up there on weekends as a ski instructor, I enjoyed seeing everybody on weekends. You know, they come up Sundays and whatnot, even during the week when we were there for skiing. So it was a big hit for the town. Public comment on resolutions. Go ahead, Ray.
It's not a resolution, it's what the young man said. I talked to Cal Smith today from the Rotary, he said he couldn't get anywhere, he fell there, they're going over them a good deal for the kids. Imagine,
So, that would be public comment on resolutions.
Can I say something?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not public, not resolution. I just want to remind people that have the basic star, that the deadline to reapply with the state is December 31st. Now, you would have received a notice in the mail from New York State Tax and Finance. If you've misplaced it, you can actually get that online. You can apply online. There is a telephone number that you can call and actually talk to them directly, give them the information they need from you. Or if you need help, come in and see us. We'll sit down and we'll do it together. But the deadline is December 31st, and that's only for people with basic star. If you're a senior or you get the enhanced star, that you're still going to get your renewal applications from us. We mail those out till end of November, beginning of December. This is only for people who have the basic star. They're the ones that need to reapply with the state. And again, the deadline is December 31st. Thanks.
Okay. I'm looking at, Rick's okay, I just want Rick. All right, this is usually here kibitzing as we go along. Right. Public comments and resolutions, third time. No comments, we'll move on to the resolutions.
One question on the resolutions, the one with the Ulster County urgent,
Yes,
about the contract there.
yes,
I think I've read the contract.
I have it downstairs. It's the same contract we've had for 5 years with them. It's
We read it first.
sitting right on my desk. You can look on it. Did you?
Resolution number 138-13, resolution to pay all bills, whereas the Department of Audit and Control require town boards to sign and inspect all vouchers coming into the town for payment to number and total amounts from each fund. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board authorize the following vouchers paid. General, $45,440.15. Highway, $441,990.06. Phoenicia Water, $24,854.93. Pine Hill Water, $1,011.65. Phoenicia Lights, $931.71. Chichester Lights, $135.89. Pine Hill Lights, $539.74, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Bartlett?
Yes.
Board Member Bernstein?
Yes.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member George?
Yes.
Supervisor Family?
Yes.